Hey there, Outlaw. Welcome back. Ho ho! Look at that creepypasta jump you got there. That's a good one, especially since it's the military stuff. You know, all those kind of things that may or may not happen. You might find out with this story. Tell you what, I'll read it to you. I'm in the military, and I have been sent to investigate strange occurrences on a base in New Mexico. Written by Don Quixote Rossi, narrated by Gama Akutabi. I like to start off by saying that I've never been into the idea of the paranormal, nor the otherworldly. Even given my Native American background and the stories I was told by my parents and grandparents, I thought them nothing more than just stories meant to keep me and my brother from being bad kids. But ever since being stationed on a Marine Corps base in New Mexico, that has drastically changed. I'm a special agent in the military. I can give away my rank, but I am an officer, a fairly young one at that, so I deal with a lot of stuff that go on behind the scenes in the military you don't hear about. I also do medical, due to me getting a degree in health science, so I give medical support when needed on certain events that require it. Things on this base, for the most part, are very dull and plain. It's in the middle of nowhere, close to Navajo country, so there's not really much to do. I even started to question why I had been assigned this duty, but that was until I was tasked with medical coverage for a 12-mile hike that would last 2 days. The beginning of the hike was uneventful. We made camp somewhere in a prairie full of vegetation under the desert night. It was my first time seeing the stars, where little light pollution interfered. It looked beautiful. I was lost in the beauty of it. It looked like something a Renaissance artist would draw. My stargazing was interrupted by a loud conversation going on next to my tent. Marine 1. Dude, I swear I saw something watching me pee from beyond the prayer. It was sitting on something. Marine 2. Bro, if you're trying to scare me, it's not gonna work. This time you guys already pranked me once. It was probably an animal or something. Marine 1. That was no animal. It looked human. It stood on 2 feet and everything I'm telling you. It walked just as we did. Marine 2. I think you had too much to drink. Come on. I think we should go back to the tent with the rest of the guys. Marine 1. Yeah. You're right. Come on, let's go. Being the person I was, I decided to walk out to where he allegedly saw the thing and started to investigate. All I saw was a puddle of pee that quickly went from a puddle to a trail of pee leading back to the campsite. I let out a slight chuckle and was about to turn around when I saw something walking away in the distance. It was tall and pale, with extremities reaching past his knees. His body was slim, with fingers too long to be human. He walked slowly, but methodically. I decided to follow with my shotgun in hand and loaded. I tailed the creature for 1 mile. It led me to a cliff side, where it took a seat on a rock. I ducked behind a large rock. Creature, I know you're there. Come on out from your hiding spot. There's no use in hiding. The voice, it sounded like a man speaking through a microphone. It echoed when there was no possible way for it to echo, and was deep. I spoke. Me, how do you know I was here? And how long have you known? Creature, pick up hands when sitting on the rock, enjoying a night of stars in the desert, and you look to your left to see some asshole staring at you while he's pissing. You should have seen the look on his face when I stared back. He ran away so fast while piss running down his leg. I knew it would be only a matter of time until he told someone. He was joking around. He knew where on the map he was. He knew what guns were, and he could swear. This creature was no ordinary creature. He knew his way. He understood the concept of human interaction. I questioned him. Me, where do you come from? Creature, my friend, I come from the darkness. Me, the darkness? Creature, you see, I was born in the darkness, molded by it. It didn't think I'd see the light until I cut him off. Me, okay, that's enough. I've seen the Dark Knight and you don't look like Bane to me. Creature, fair enough. If I put on some muscle though and get juiced up, I bet I could. Me, yeah, okay, whatever. Sorry for disrupting your night. You really shouldn't be watching people from a distance creepily. Creature, well, your buddy shouldn't have been staring at me while taking a piss. I tried to avoid eye contact. That's like using the stall next to someone in the bathroom when there are 4 more open and looking him dead in the eye and starting a conversation and then patting him on the back. Me, fair enough. Must have been pretty awkward. creature. Very well. I'm glad you understand. You guys shouldn't be so careless out here. Other things more terrifying than me lurk in these deserts. Me. What do you mean by other things? But before I could get an answer, I blinked and it was gone. That single encounter proved to me that I have gotten myself into something that was only about to get more strange. The next day we hiked back to the base, but something was wrong what we call attendance. We noticed 2 Marines were missing. Myself and another Marine officer named Shaska were tasked to go find them. Shaska was a pretty cool guy. He was from around here. He grew up on Navajo reservation, so I knew I was in good hands. We made our way to some caverns near the campsite where we assumed that the Marines went, tailing from the footprints which strangely turned into the looks of something being dragged through the sand. I looked at Shaska. He was pale. He knew something bad had happened. We both exchanged worried looks and ventured into the caverns. It was a maze straight out of Greek mythology book, with a fork in the middle. It was a confusing maze, a very confusing situation where it is difficult to know which direction to take. Shaska spoke. Shaska, look man, I don't know what you believe in, but no matter what, you need to listen to me. From what I've seen so far, I think something dragged 2 full-grown Marines into this cave, and it did God knows what to them. So I'm gonna give you this one rule, and you follow it no matter what. If you hear me call your name, wait until I call it 3 times. Not once, not twice, 3. Got it? Keep this rope tied to you. I've tied it to a secure point in the front of the cave so we can find our way back. Me, got it. Just make sure your weapon is loaded. I'll go left and you go right. We parted ways, and instantly I felt lost. I'm on edge. Every drop of water made me look behind myself. Every stalagmite gave me a heart attack, almost making me draw my weapon. I made my way deeper into the cave when I started hearing whispers. I then heard my name, and I saw Shaska waving me on. I started walking towards him, but before I could take another step, I was pulled by my rope from behind and put behind a rope with a hand over my mouth. It was Shaska. He held a finger to his lips, and we slide behind the rock with our weapons loaded. He motioned me to peek from behind the rock, and what I saw was something that defied reality. It was a large creature, as tall as a tree. The body was skeletal and deformed, with missing lips and toes and jagged teeth. Its breath was a strange hiss, its footprints full of blood, and it ate any man, woman, or child who ventured into its territory. A foul stench was present in the air, and an unreasonable chill proceeded with its approach. This creature was the Wittico. It is said that the Wittico choose to possess a person instead. Then the luckless individual became a Wittico himself, hunting down those he had once loved and feasting upon their flesh. The strong sense of fear I felt was indescribable. This was no natural fear, but powerful, primitive, and the core of basic human emotion that shot the adrenaline through the roof, making all 6 of my senses go wild. This was the worst case scenario. I looked at Shaska to see if we will engage or stand down, but when our eyes met, he gave me the signal to wait. His eyes then highlighted with the thought of an idea, and he looked at me and pointed to the ceiling. There, we had sharp stalactites hanging from the ceiling. We both nodded. We looked up at the ceiling, and we were about to shoot it when he spoke. Wittico. Wherever you are, boys, I know you're there. Come join your friends. It then started to mimic their voices. It didn't sound human at all. It sounded distorted and guttural. Our eyes both grew wide, knowing the outcome of our fallen comrades. Shaska then counted to 3 using his fingers. 1, 2, 3. We let loose fire on the stalactites. They came raining down on the creature, impaling it through its whole body. Run! Shaska yelled. We booked it back to the entrance, following the rope trail. We broke the cave entrance. The thing did not give chase, guessing it was pinned to the floor. Still, Shaska removed 2 charges from his backpack. He set them to the entrance roof of the cavern and blew them. The cavern was sealed off, and the creature could no longer escape. We returned and reported to our superiors that we could not find the Marines, and reported them as missing. from what I heard, missing cases in this area tend to not get solved due to certain circumstances. That's all I could say for now, without giving away any classified. But we still get reports from some Marines that in the middle of the night, they can still hear the missing Marine voices coming from the desert, beckoning them to come help them in the desert. We have passed word to ignore it, and even made up an excuse to discredit the voices, saying that it was just the wind. I have more stories, but I've run out of time now. I have to get back to work. Lieutenant Colonel wants a report on what happened, and it's gonna take all day to write. If you want to hear more stories, let me know. Until then, see you later. And that's the end of the story, Outlaw. This is a story that I have put off for years, to be honest. I did have some other voice actors, VAs, some of them that have grown way too famous nowadays. May not give me that time of day to help me. And some that have gotten busy with life. So I went ahead and just decided, you know what, let me do a solo. It's been long enough. My audio sounds miles better than before. And that's something that you could tell if you go back to my first story on the channel. And this story, well, it kind of gives me vibes of FCPs and some whatchamacallit, some urban legends as well. That's the kind of vibe that I got from this story. And I'll be narrating part 2 of the story. And the author they gave me his blessing. I just gotta narrate all 3 parts of it. That's as long as this story is. And I hope that you come to the channel and watch it. Leave a comment and a like. And if I earn it, go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? And like always, I see y'all on the wasteland.